one stay true to oneself? Each in its own way, true to its creative impulse. You know, just like a tree stays true to itself by growing fruits and flowers, or a hummingbird by building a nest, a peach tree by bearing fruit. Can we also find a way to stay true to ourselves?
Touchstones are the things that we love, things that allow us to sparkle. We feel like ourselves when we do them in the most easy and effortless way. They have proven time and time again to make us feel good and bring us back to the present moment, allowing our higher self to emerge. Hi everyone! Today is a very beautiful topic in my opinion. It's about happiness touchstones. Let's jump right in. I talked a little bit about it in the intro. What is a happiness touchstone? And happiness touchstones are basically all the things that make us feel like us, like what makes you feel like you. And it's not really a matter of our qualities within, but it can also be. But usually touchstones are things that we find in our exteriors. So let's say an activity that you really like doing, and whenever you do that activity you feel like yourself, or something you cannot really imagine your life without it. For example, if you make music and you play an instrument, it's hard to imagine yourself without playing that instrument, right? So that is a touchstone for you probably. Or something that just is a part of you, like it's something that you love and something that you want to keep doing because it has the power to catapult you to your highest self immediately, to higher frequencies, to a better mood. It uplifts you from within. And yeah, as I said, it can be an activity, it can be a hobby, but it can also just be something as simple as, you know, for me it's important to be able to gaze outside my window, to be able to look at the sky, have a moment to catch my breath. This is a very simple sort of mindful activity, but maybe it is a touchstone for you. You take a sheet of paper. It doesn't have to be such a huge paper. I just took it because I wanted to show you guys. Anyways, you take a sheet of paper, you write down me in the middle, and then you draw 3 circles around yourself. And now you have 3 different circles that you can fill up. The closer to the center, the more important the touchstones, and the more outwards we go, the less important these touchstones are for oneself. So in the first circle, obviously, you put the most representative things that make you feel super good, that you cannot really imagine yourself living without. Like you really love these things and they're so significant to you. And then once you go a little more outwards, you still feel this connection towards your touchstones, obviously, otherwise you wouldn't put them on this paper, but you don't need them as frequently, or you can get away with not really practicing them in a very frequent way. So for example, I have hiking kind of like in the middle-ish towards outward, because as much as I love hiking, I just don't really do it that much. But whenever I go, I feel aligned. I feel like it really makes me feel great, but I just don't do it that often, and that's fine with me, you know? So that's how it works. Don't overthink it. Just do it very easily. Just do it like it comes out of you naturally, and I think that's the best way to go. I would say the middle circle are the kind of things that I like to do on a daily basis. If not daily, I would say every other day. Like I really want to feel them in my life. And then as we go to the second circle, I would say a weekly basis. And as we go to the third circle, I would say a monthly basis. But of course, this is very kind of rigid. Of course, maybe there's things in the second circle that I don't get to do on a weekly basis, and that is fine. One of them is hiking, for example. As much as I put it in the second circle, I don't think I will do it on a weekly basis anyways, but I will still want to try to do it as much as I can. So that is like a little, I think that is your North Star. It's like your compass. Good pointers to realize your touchstones are what feels good and also what you cannot really imagine yourself living without. I mean, if you take that thought of like, can I imagine myself living without this? Maybe you will see like what effect it will have on your emotional state, and you will be like, oh God, no, you know, and maybe it is a touchstone for you. I want to give you a little tiny bit of a backstory. It's going to be short, I promise. I was off YouTube for 3 months, and the reason why that was is because I kind of undergone 2 big life transformations. I mean, it sounds a little bit dramatic, but I've just moved into a new apartment, which is quite nice. You know, it's quite a big change. And then the other update is that I did an eye laser correction surgery because I used to wear glasses and now I no longer. And you know, the thing is that how are these things connected to touchstones, one might ask. And it's just that during this time I was undergoing these changes. First of all, the recovery time after the laser surgery, and then right after that I had the whole moving process. You know, everybody knows moving is quite stressful and time consuming. And during that time, I just noticed that I was mentally not doing very well. I mean, I was okay, obviously. I was happy about these changes, but I think that because I was working on a lot of things at the same time, I noticed that something was off mentally. And I had time to reflect, and I noticed how important touchstones are in our daily lives, because that was exactly the time period I wasn't pursuing any of my touchstones. I wasn't actively spending time doing what I love. And it wasn't because I didn't want to obviously prioritize them. It was because I couldn't, either because of lack of time, either because I couldn't because I had to recover with my eyes. The circumstances basically led me to that. But it was just a time where I noticed how important it is actually, because only in the absence of something you realize how important it actually is for you and what effects it had on your overall state and the way you feel. Once we know something, we can take control over it. And now we know what touchstones are, we know their meaning, we know what they're capable of doing in our lives, and we can actually list our own touchstones. And it's nice to be able to list kind of top of mind 5 touchstones for you. I mean, you don't even have to call them touchstones if you don't like that word. I don't care. But you know, just like 5 things that I know that can make me feel good instantly, that I know that can make me feel aligned with myself instantly, that can make me feel good. You know what I mean? Next time you're not feeling very good, you can just be like, okay, I know what my touchstones are. Hello, and I'm just gonna go through them, you know? I mean, okay, it's not that dramatic. That's why we did what we did in this video. We identified, and now we know them and we are aware of them. Knowing something makes it a lot easier to take control over it and protect it and actually prioritize it. I recently had a conversation with a friend who was saying like, I have just entered a new relationship, I have a new boyfriend. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is so exciting for you. And how is your new relationship going? And I was catching up with her and she was like, yeah, it's fine, but I'm kind of feeling a little bit sad. I'm kind of feeling a little bit off. And I was like, why? You know, why do you feel off? And after, you know, asking her several questions, I realized that she wasn't really doing any of the things that she feels good about. She was kind of neglecting everything that is hers, and she was spending more time with her boyfriend, which is, you know, normal, of course, when you're lovey-dovey kind of thing. But she was feeling a little bit like she's losing herself. That's the exact word she described it to me. And I was like, maybe you should just, you know, try to like pursue a little bit of the things that you like, find a little time for them. She was like, yeah, you're right. And then, you know, she confirmed with me that she started feeling a lot better. So I'm just saying, like, this is something that I've seen in my own life, you've seen in your own life. I'm sure maybe you weren't able to really understand why, because I wasn't at times when I was feeling off, but I didn't know why. And then now seeing it in this perspective of the touchstones, I'm like, okay, there's something to it. Maybe I didn't really prioritize myself and the things that I love as much as I wanted to during that time. Make time for the things that you love. That's the message. Okay. Actually, it was when I was in Copenhagen that the importance of touchstones was amplified and made all that more clear to me. Because obviously I don't know anyone in Copenhagen, but I was just people watching as one does. And I kind of felt like people really commit to their happiness touchstones regardless of the conditions there. And because I don't know anyone personally, the only kind of conditions I could see was the weather. So I saw people committing to their touchstones even in the worst weather conditions. You know, I saw people running in the middle of a windy storm, plunging into ice water in the morning, and basically practicing whatever it is that makes them feel good. And I feel like that was kind of metaphorical because the weather conditions were just kind of like a metaphor of it doesn't really matter what the conditions will be like. They don't have to be ideal in order to kind of practice our touchstones. And that is the essence of it all. You know, they're non-negotiable. We keep them close and stay true to them, even if life doesn't look that great in that moment. So I will close this video off by saying, do the things that you love, make space for them, and act as if they're non-negotiable, because they are. In the end, we are what we love. Hold these things close, treat them like an extension of yourself. It will feel like breathing. It will feel like freedom. So closing this video off, I quickly wanted to say thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate every single one of you. The people who've watched this video to the end, you are superstars. Thank you so much. No. So jokes aside, I really, really do appreciate it. And then another quick thing is that I've been on YouTube for 2 years now. It hasn't really gone that well with me uploading more frequently because of lack of time, because I don't even know what the hell. So I was just thinking, because I love creating and I want to keep doing it. I have a TikTok channel where I'm trying to kind of dabble a little bit with it. I haven't really found my style yet there, but I will find it, I guess. I'm just trying to post a little more on there as well while working on bigger YouTube videos. All of that is to say, please follow me on TikTok. Yeah, okay. I mean, if you want to, but please do, because yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't know. It would be cool. And if you haven't watched my previous videos, go check them out. Yeah, okay. I'm not really that good at advertising all of this. So, okay, I also have Instagram. Okay, bye. I don't know what I'm doing. It's been such a long time since I've done one of these. Oh my god. Am I focused? Because, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I'm too awkward right now. Okay, fuck it. I don't know. I'm just saying, you know, do what you will. I'm just working on one YouTube video for a month or 2 or 3. I love you. Is my hair fine? This dog will never stop barking, I guess. Okay, sorry. No! The camera! Oh. You know how many times I filmed these parts? I don't even want to talk about it, because at this point, I'm just really pissed. Have a good one. Have a good one, y'all. That's what my coworker always says. Have a good one, y'all. No, she always says the y'all, and I kind of like it because it's fun. Goodbye. See you next time.